The bell above the diner door jingled as Jake Mercer shuffled in, the weight of another double shift pressing down on his shoulders. 5-year-old Mia skipped ahead, her pink backpack bouncing with every step. It was their weekly tradition. Cheap milkshakes at Lou's Diner after her Saturday ballet class. Jake counted the crumpled bills in his wallet. 42 and change. Just enough for 2 milkshakes and a tip. Barely. Just 3 more days until payday, he reminded himself, sliding into their usual cracked vinyl booth. The scent of grease and coffee hung thick in the air. Mia immediately grabbed the crayons. Lou kept for her, tongue sticking out in concentration as she drew. "Look, Daddy, it's our house!" She held up a lopsided sketch of their tiny apartment, stick-figure versions of the two of them. Jake's throat tightened. That apartment was one missed rent payment from being someone else's. "Beautiful bug," he murmured, ruffling her curls just as the waitress arrived. The older woman smiled. "The usual? Please, Darla. And, Jake hesitated. "Can we do the kid's size for Mia today?" Darla's eyes softened. "Sure thing, hun." Jake's phone buzzed. Another text from his landlord. His fingers clenched around it. "The mommy!" Mia's sudden shriek sent his heart lurching. Before he could react, she'd scrambled out of the booth and was sprinting toward the back of the diner. "No, Mia!" Jake lunged after her, knocking over a sugar shaker. His pulse pounded as he saw where she was. Headed. The corner booth. The power booth. Where a sleek black-clad woman sat signing papers, her auburn hair pulled into a razor-sharp bun. 2 suited bodyguards stood watch. The entire diner had been giving her a wide berth. Olivia Sterling. Jake knew that face. Everyone did. The steel queen of Manhattan real estate. The Billionaire splashed across Forbes last month. Mia crashed into the woman's side like a tiny hurricane. "Mommy, you came back." The diner went dead silent. Olivia Sterling froze, fountain pen dripping ink across a $1 million contract. Slowly, as if wading through molasses, she looked down. Jake reached them just as Olivia's carefully constructed mask shattered. "Sophie." The whisper was raw, unrecognizable. Jake's blood turned to ice. Sophie. The name he hadn't spoken in 5 years. The name on Mia's birth certificate. The woman who vanished 3 days after giving birth, leaving nothing but a note and a screaming newborn. Mia beamed, oblivious to the tension. "Daddy has your picture on his phone. See?" She tugged at Jake's pocket where his cracked smartphone peeked out. Olivia, Sophie, looked up at Jake, her green eyes wide with something like terror. A bodyguard stepped forward, but she waved him off with a trembling hand. "You," she breathed. "You kept her." The words hit Jake like a sucker punch. Of course he kept her. What kind of monster wouldn't? And then it all clicked. The nervous breakdown Sophie had suffered postpartum. The way she'd sobbed about not being good enough. The Sterling family name she'd refused to share. "Oh my God," Jake choked. "You're Olivia Sterling." A muscle jumped in Olivia's jaw. One of her lawyers leaned in. "Ma'am, the press." She silenced him with a look. In one fluid motion, Olivia scooped Mia onto her lap, so natural it stole Jake's breath. Mia immediately snuggled in, tiny fingers playing with Olivia's diamond necklace. "Let's order pancakes," Olivia said, voice steadier now. She met Jake's gaze over Mia's curls. "And then we'll discuss custody arrangements." Jake's vision tunneled. The diner's noise came rushing back in waves, gossiping customers, Darla's shocked gasp, the frantic clicks of a smartphone camera. But all he could see was how perfectly Mia fit against Olivia's chest. Like she'd always belonged there. Time-lapse preserved. The black limousine idling outside Jake's apartment looked as out of place as a diamond in a dumpster. Neighbors peeked through curtains as Olivia Sterling stepped out, designer heels clicking on the cracked sidewalk. Jake blocked the doorway, arms crossed. "You can't just—" "Relax, Mr. Mercer." Olivia's voice was calm, but her knuckles whitened around her briefcase. "I'm here to talk." Inside the cramped apartment, Mia bounced on the couch. "Mommy, look! This is Mr. Bubbles." She thrust a one-eyed teddy bear at Olivia, who took it with surprising gentleness. Jake's stomach churned watching them. How Olivia's cold corporate shell melted when Mia spoke. Then Olivia opened her briefcase. The check she slid across the coffee table had enough zeros to make Jake's vision blur. "For Mia's future," Olivia said. "Private schools, trust fund." She paused. "The condition—" She met his gaze. "You both move into my penthouse." Jake laughed bitterly. "What? Like some modern-day Cinderella story?" "No. Like a mother who spent 5 years thinking her child was given up for adoption." Olivia's composure cracked. "I hired detectives, scoured foster databases. When the trail went cold, I assumed—" A photo fluttered from her briefcase. A grainy hospital shot. Olivia cradling newborn Mia, eyes red raw from crying. Jake's breath caught. He'd never seen that version of Sophie. Vulnerable. Broken. Not the woman who had abandoned them. Mia's crayon drawing drifted to the floor, 3 stick figures holding hands. Time-lapse preserved. 1 week later, paparazzi swarmed as they entered Sterling Towers. Mia squealed at the castle, while Jake's stomach twisted under the doorman's pitying look. Olivia's world was marble and silence, the opposite of their messy, laughter-filled apartment. At the welcome gala, because billionaires apparently threw parties for moving in, Jake watched Olivia work the room, charming investors, and subtly making sure Mia's juice box was always full. Then Mia vanished. Panic clutched Jake's chest, until he heard giggles from the kitchen. He found her perched on a stainless steel counter helping Olivia flip pancakes, while 2 starched chefs looked on in horror. "And then you splat the batter," Mia demonstrated, sending a glob onto Olivia's $5,000 blouse. Instead of scolding her, Olivia laughed. A real unguarded laugh. Then she copied the motion, splattering batter on her own sleeve. "Like this?" Jake's anger faltered. This wasn't the woman who had left. This was someone, clumsily, trying to come home. Epilogue. Time-lapse preserved. 3 months later, the penthouse had transformed. Crayon drawings hung beside Picasso's. Mia's tiny sneakers littered the foyer. Jake found Olivia on the terrace at dawn, reviewing contracts with pancake batter still in her hair. "You were wrong, you know," he said softly. "About me keeping Mia from you." He handed her a yellowed envelope, the unopened letter she'd left years ago, found behind their old dresser. Olivia's hands shook as she read her own words. "I'm not strong enough yet, but I swear I'll come back for you both." Tears dripped onto the paper. "I thought you'd gotten rid of her. That's why I stopped searching." Jake exhaled. "And I thought you didn't want us." Mia's sleepy voice piped up from the doorway. "Can we have pancakes?" As Olivia gathered her close, Jake finally understood. They'd all been running toward each other, just in the wrong directions. And for the first time in 5 years, the Mercer-Sterling family was whole, not because of money or guilt, but because some bonds survive, even the worst mistakes.